Welcome everybody to the Go Home Show. It is Monday Night Raw, week 4 of August. We are sprinting into SummerSlam, and we are bringing to you tonight the Go Home Show. I am joined here today by Maxine Whitman, of course, the always beautiful Maxine Whitman. Maxine, welcome to the show.
Hi, guys.
Okay, Maxine is back, and she is ready to bring to you her expert analysis on this episode of Monday Night Raw. We will be opening with pre-show. We're back. Maxine, lean in here. You look like you want to say something here.
Oh no, I'm just looking at
Oh,
what's
Maxine's
going
trying to see the screen here. Doesn't have anything to add yet. Just want to add. So we are looking at our pre-show. We have Jeff and Sparkplug, our old pals. Jeff and Sparkplug are back. And what's going to happen here is Jeff and Sparkplug, they're pulling that Toyota Tercel back into the parking lot. They just finished a successful lesson. And Sparkplug's just being his usual nasty self. And Jeff's going to say, hey, you know what, Sparkplug? Why are you always so mean to me, man? I'm just trying to learn how to drive. I just want a friend out here. Like, why are you being so mean? And Sparkplug is just going to walk off. Sparkplug doesn't have an answer. He sits, he thinks about it for a minute, and then he just shakes his head and he leaves. And leaves Jeff just sitting in the car.
Good for you, Smartplug.
Good for you, Sparkplug.
Smartplug.
Oh, Smarkplug. That is Sparkplug's new name. Smarkplug Holly. So anyway, the segment draws a 45. These segments are increasing, and I was just laughing with Maxine because I checked right before we went on to air this show, and Jeff Hardy's popularity is up to the mid-30s now, closing in on 40. So to give an example, Sparkplug is a 44 in most areas of popularity. So Jeff is steadily gaining popularity, and at 16 years old, is closing in on that mid-card level popularity. So we'll see where these segments continue to go.
He didn't beat him.
He didn't beat him, but he also didn't answer Jeff. And Jeff just wanted to know, hey man, like, what's up? Why you always such a dick?
Why are you so pissy?
Right? Why are you such a dick? Your hair is always perfect. It's always feathered. It's always beautiful, feathered and lethal.
In the back.
In the back. So moving on, we'll move past the segment. We get any worker now? No worker improvements here, but scores of 45. We'll move on. So this is going to be a segment with Adam Bomb, Sid, Bart Gunn, and Billy Gunn. So it's basically just a.
This is
the pre-show stuff.
Okay.
Yes. So this is just a quick segment with our
Cowboys.
So it's our champions, the Smoking Gun, the Cowboys, and the challengers, Sid and Adam Bomb. It's basically just your standard promo. Hey, we're gonna beat you up.
Is Billy and Bart brothers?
No, they're not.
Or I should say,
they're Mustachio brothers.
Oh, okay.
No, they are not brothers.
Versus pistachios?
Versus Pistachio brothers, yeah. I don't know. I don't remember in real life whether they were actually pushed as brothers or not, as siblings. I don't know. I know that they're not actually siblings. I don't remember whether they were actually kayfabe brothers.
Okay.
We get no worker improvements here. So we're just going to move on to our next segment. It's a pretty standard segment. And here we're going to get Doink the Clown.
The creepy one.
He is going to turn heel here. But he is going to maintain his clown persona. So here he is. He's cutting a promo in the vein of the Joker, basically saying he's going to bring havoc to the World Wrestling Federation, and everybody wants to laugh at the clown, but this time the clown's going to be doing the laughing.
Let me tell you
See that? I thought that up on the spot.
Oh, well,
I thought that up on the spot from the old Nagarumi here. Yeah. You were saying?
That's creepy. This is entire creepy. Why are we doing this? We have children in the background that need to go to bed, and now you destroy their fantasy. Nobody could see. I mean, there are adults that freaking hate clowns, and I can understand why. They're really creepy.
Well, this is an evil clown. We are playing the Joker vein here.
And if somebody is a fan and is clown lover, I do not apologize about that. It's
Yeah,
just
right.
they're creepy.
If the one guy who watches this YouTube series is a clown, we're sorry. So in this case, we've now apologized to Ric Flair, just in case you, the listener, just in case you're Ric Flair, we're sorry. Just in case you're a clown, we apologize. And on the off chance that you are in fact a little person, we are deeply apologetic. I believe that covers everything. I believe we've covered all our bases so far.
Okay.
Or if you're a Gorilla Monsoon fan, if you're a Gorilla Monsoon Mark, we apologize. Because he's pulling 90 ratings. Moving on, we are opening the show now. So, here
we're opening with them?
We are opening with Bret and Owen and our old pal Gorilla Monsoon. And basically what we have is a backstage segment where Owen and Jim are complaining to Gorilla about Bret's request for a cage match. Owen says he will not participate in a cage match. That's not what he signed up for. Bret Hart arrives, and Gorilla says, you know what, based on the previous 8 weeks, it has become clear to him that Owen has no interest in a fair fight for the WWF title, and on his watch, the championship match at SummerSlam will be a clean finish, so he is announcing the stipulation that Bret and Owen will go one-on-one inside the steel cage.
Good job. This
That's
is
right.
absolutely the right call. I am very glad that somebody had a spine in this situation and stood up to these two weasels. Although I do love you, Owen. Don't hurt me or think of me badly for that.
Oh, Owen won't think of you badly.
I
Don't worry.
know, but I'm sorry in heaven, please, sorry. But still, thank you.
But still, thank you. So, thank you, Gorilla Monsoon. The Gorilla Monsoon marks go crazy. He is locking in, figuratively and literally, these two competitors into a cage match in less than 1 week at SummerSlam 1994. So, Bret's happy, Owen's not, Neidhart's not. It scores an 81, gets us a pretty good rating here. It's going to advance our Bret and Owen storyline. And it gets the show off to a hot start.
I could just envision Neidhart just sadly groping the cage and just looking so sad that he cannot help.
As Bret
Owen
just tears his little brother limb from limb.
Yes.
Now I gotta ask you, Maxine, Bret versus Owen, SummerSlam for the title. Who you pulling for?
You see, the way the story has developed, I have to go for Bret Hart. But I wasn't always a fan of Bret Hart.
You could be a mark for the heel.
I kind of, there's something charming about Owen. It's just like an aura about him, and Bret always seemed really into himself.
Okay.
Bret is like the Kanye West of that era.
I'm sure Bret would love to hear that I'm sure Kanye would love to hear that you've compared him to Bret Hart. I do get what you're saying though. Bret's his own biggest mark.
Yeah, it's almost like I love me, but also.
Well, you're blurring the lines of kayfabe here.
Okay, but am I supposed to or am I not supposed to?
You're supposed to do whatever you want.
Well, I want to say I want to go for Owen.
All right.
Although in this situation, I feel like I should be like a child, like I was back then, and I'm gonna go for the good guy. I always want to go for the good guy.
Well, tune in on Friday to see what happens.
Yeah.
Moving on to our next segment, we're gonna get now Owen and Neidhart and Jim Neidhart, the new foundation. They're going to be in action against Tatanka and Eddie Guerrero, and they're going to defeat Tatanka and Eddie in just under 10 minutes. Owen's going to defeat Tatanka by submission with the sharpshooter. Interesting thing to point out, so Owen Hart's going to carry the match here, obviously. He grabs an 85 rated performance.
Wow.
What I am excited to see, though, excuse me, is Eddie Guerrero pull a 66 in-ring performance. So...
This is good?
This is good. I'm happy to see that. I want to build his popularity a little bit, but as an in-ring worker, he's kind of showing, at least here and in his previous matches, that he can work with these these upper card guys.
God, I missed Eddie. He was
Yeah.
such an outstanding, like, entertaining figure.
Yeah.
You know, it's just natural at it, and
Mm-hmm.
was able to transcend, like, even generations. Even, like, you know, my
Yeah.
kid brother loved him. But besides that, I should just focus on this. I'm sorry,
No, don't apologize.
but sweet beer or mustache.
It's a mustachio. We got some solid. I think we should put Eddie and the Smoking Guns together as the Mustachio Brothers.
The mustachio.
No, but yeah, so Eddie is showing that even at this, at a younger age, I think Eddie is 27, 28 here.
Just natural.
But in 94, he's got that natural in-ring ability, and hopefully, I'd like to see him grow with that and be able to kind of get into that main event because, our strength right now as a company is our young stars, whereas WCW has all the star power, but they're a little bit older. Our strength right now is those younger guys that we really need to build up, and get them into the limelight there, because we do have a lot of guys who are under 30 years old, or under 32 really, that really have a lot to contribute if we can build them up properly. So it scores a 75, a B minus. It advances our Bret and Owen storyline a little bit.
Who's Tatanka?
Tatanka. So Tatanka, I don't know how long he was around, but he's
Why does he have a Japanese name?
No, it's a Native American name.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah.
If
we have any Native Americans, actually no, we've already offended our Native Americans, so it's okay. So if you're a Native American, a little person, Ric Flair, or a Gorilla Monsoon fan,
or a clown,
or a clown now, so 5, we apologize. Please don't stop listening to our podcast. Please don't stop watching our YouTube
I'm
series.
sorry. It's
but yeah, he's a Native American, a legitimate Native American too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, legitimate Native American.
But because WWE has the tendency of doing the super annoying stereotypes. Was he like a stereotype? Like had to wear a bow and arrow and feathers to go?
No, I mean he wore the headdress. But I don't know that I would say he was a stereotype. I mean he did do a little bit of a dance here or there. But being a legitimate Native American, I don't know that he was really a stereotype, but
a gimmick.
I mean, he played a Native American.
It's not a stereotype as much as like a gimmick. You know how they sometimes just superimpose this gimmick?
Yeah, I mean that was his gimmick. Native American was his gimmick.
Okay.
That was yes. So in that respect, yes. Moving on. Just a quick note here: Eddie Guerrero is improving at his gimmick. He's getting better at his gimmick, so that's a good thing.
Latino heat.
That is it. Viva la raza. Let's move on. We're going to get a great angle here. So basically this is Gorilla Monsoon announcing the triple threat match. So HBK and Diesel are going to give themselves a little too sweet action. Razor's there. He's not super happy about it, but he also doesn't seem all that bothered by it. So obviously, so Diesel basically goes to Gorilla, says, hey, if you want to make it a triple threat, I'm okay with that. So HBK now has successfully weaseled his way into this match. So it is going to be a triple threat. So he announces at SummerSlam the Intercontinental title will be defended in a triple threat match. It'll be Diesel versus HBK versus Razor Ramon. Winner take all for the Intercontinental belt.
Can I just say that Razor Ramon just looks good, you just look at him like, okay, that's a heel. You don't even have to think like this guy. Where does he stand?
The bad guy, man.
Yeah, he does look like has the look.
Yep, absolutely.
Was he really talented in the ring?
Razor was fantastic. Scott Hall was fantastic.
Okay.
Scott Hall was fantastic. Yes. So HBK here is superb, working without a script. Diesel enjoyed improvising. And HBK comes out of this looking excellent. It scores an 88. It's a B+. It's going to advance that Razor versus Diesel storyline. Excuse me, I'm yawning here. It is late while we record this. So we will move on to our next segment. Diesel improves his acting ability here. And moving on, we get an angle now, another hot angle. And it's going to feature The Undertaker and Paul Bearer. And basically what's happening here is Undertaker is in his graveyard, and he says at SummerSlam, Bam Bam will be Ted DiBiase's worst investment ever. So we get that creepy Undertaker, the fog rolling through, and
I love the
he's
fog.
basically saying that Dibiase has invested poorly with his choice of Bam Bam Bigelow.
You know what? I have to say that when it came to the Undertaker, like Mankind was just scary.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, the Undertaker always had like that edge where it just was intriguing. Even though it was weird, it was almost approachable compared to Mankind. Because
That's
I remember
fair.
like Mankind feeling like
I was terrified of Mankind.
yeah, like there was something like, oh my god, this guy is not all there together, and he's scary. He's just scary as a child. It was just feeling scary. But the Undertaker somehow
there was
about
something
him,
intriguing about him.
Yeah, intriguing and approachable.
I agree. Interesting thing, Undertaker not suited to his gimmick. And if you've been watching our previous videos, I've been pointing that out. And it dawned on me today, as I was going through our gimmicks, that the reason he is not suited to his gimmick is because the default gimmick for him, the Dead Man gimmick, it's a supernatural gimmick, and it is suited for heels. So he's playing a babyface with a heel gimmick.
Oh, okay.
So unless I go in and tweak that gimmick, we're going to get that penalty every single time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to tweak it because I don't really have another gimmick to give him. And he's still pulling 85s, and his matches are still around the 90 mark, so it's not really affecting him all that badly. And so because of that, but that's why we're getting that message. It's the same thing with Paul Bearer. They're both playing that supernatural gimmick, and they're both playing baby faces. So,
is there a way of maybe making the game accept the fact that supernatural doesn't always mean
sure. I mean, I could tweak that gimmick and manually edit it.
We should have a fairy.
A fairy.
Yes, something magical and like a unicorn. Oh my god, a unicorn, a fairy in this.
Are you suggesting the Unicorn Warrior?
Yeah. Wait, this one?
No, I'm saying, do we have a Unicorn Warrior now?
We should have a Unicorn Warrior that wears pink, purple, like green and yellow.
Okay, so
and white.
If you're watching this video, I'd like to point out that our creative meeting will be going up on the same day as this video. You can check that out at iTunes, Book It Better, or bookitbetter.podomatic.com. And you can find out there if we have created the Unicorn Warrior. We will possibly have Maxine join us for that, and she can explain what the Unicorn Warrior is. And then we can maybe do a casting call and find someone to play the Unicorn Warrior. My vote is for Typhoon.
Does he have sweet hair?
I believe he has a skullet.
Yeah, that's not happening then.
He's also about 450 pounds.
Oh, Lord, really?
Yeah.
The unicorn needs to be magical.
Well,
okay.
So, if you're watching this video, you can also check out that creative meeting. It will be going up, and we will definitely be addressing the Unicorn Warrior. I love that idea. I think it'll be perfect. We'll high five on that one, and we'll move on to our next segment. It's going to be Chris Jericho versus IRS. It gets a 61. That's a standard Chris Jericho match right now.
He can't stand on his own yet. Like
he's not. He's a mid-carder on his own.
Okay.
And that's where he is right now. He's the mid-card. So this isn't a terrible match. Can
he become our warrior? He has
no. Chris Jericho is not the Unicorn
majestic
Warrior.
hair.
No, let's not even talk about that. It's not going to happen. Regardless, he beats him by submission. He is improving at his gimmick. His in-ring performance was a 61. IRS was a 58. That's why we pulled the 61 grade. The Jericho Arrives storyline advances with this segment. Not too much to talk about here. It's just your standard Jericho IRS match. It's really not it's just a mid-card filler kind of match.
How do you pronounce his last name for IRS?
Shyster. Erwin R. Shyster.
It sounds like...
Sounds like what? It sounds like what, Maxine?
No, this is a children's program. We would not do that. This is the PG era. We don't do that anymore.
Let's move on. And we're going to get Jericho cutting a promo on Savage. Basically saying, your time is up. Savage arrives. and tells him just to wait one more week.
Ooh.
So it's basically it's Savage telling Jericho, "Ooh, you can do all the talking you want to, but wait 1 week, yeah."
Somebody might be getting a spanking.
Oh, Chris Jericho's getting a spanking.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, make sure you check out SummerSlam, where Randy Savage will be going one-on-one with Chris Jericho in a spank match. They'll be spanking each other around the ring.
Or is
Jericho.
it Spanx? Because
It's a Spanx match.
Yeah, because he has to, like, he's older, so he needs to put things.
So he needs to wear the Spanx.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Savage improvises well. Jericho improvises well. It scores a 90. Again, Savage is a walking 90. That's just what he does. And this angle is getting real hot, building into SummerSlam. So it's a good final promo here. It gets the crowd heated up, and definitely looking forward to. This has actually become the match that I'm most looking forward to at SummerSlam. So when we booked it, when we booked it, when we kind of outlined it out, it was the opener, and it still probably is the opener. But I'm much more excited for it now, and its potential to open the show off, to open SummerSlam off real hot.
Is it interesting for you to, when you guys have these meetings and figure out the creative aspect of where you feel the company is going, and yet the story switches up on you and you start feeling that it's developing maybe in a way that you didn't foresee? Is that something exciting for you, or do you feel like, okay, now we need to grasp it so to turn it back to where we want it to go?
Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's interesting. It adds to the creative aspect of it. I'm not saying that this is going differently than we thought it was going to go.
No, I know it's not. I just.
But yeah, in the event that, so it does happen a lot where we book out, because I mean, remember, we're booking out ideally 3 months ahead of time. So when we started this, we booked out 2 months to SummerSlam. After SummerSlam, we'll book out 3 months essentially, 3 months of television, 3 months of pay-per-views, all the way to Survivor Series. That is a rough outline of where we'd like to go with it. That's why we do our creative meetings twice a month, so that if things change or go differently, we can kind of adjust on the fly that way. But yes, absolutely, it's interesting and it's exciting because it does. It's easy to book out some programming, right? But as it changes, for example, I mean, when we first started putting it together, we'd put together our SummerSlam card and the winners, right? Last minute changes in booking could certainly happen. Is a storyline really hot? Do we want to extend it a month longer than we thought? All those things come into play, absolutely.
Especially when when the game throws like, oh, somebody might have been hurt or something.
Right.
Now you have to figure out where that goes.
Absolutely, absolutely. But you'll have to listen to that on iTunes. Another plug. I'm gonna plug this all day. I'm gonna plug our iTunes here. But yeah, no, absolutely, and that's why I like putting up the creative meetings. When we first started, it was kind of a debate. I didn't want to put them up, but that's why I like putting those creative meetings up, because I think it's fun. For anybody who might be watching this to kind of, listen to that creative meeting and kind of know where it might be going, but then see it going another way on TV, and I kind of like putting those meetings up because they are exciting. Yeah. Moving on to the next segment. We're going to get an angle here. We got Razor, Shawn, and Diesel. It scores an 88. That's a B+. And this is basically Razor goes backstage. He finds Shawn and Diesel, and he says, well, I'll just beat you both. The bad guys do bad things, man. And he's going to beat them both. And that's what he says.
You forgot to take out the toothpick, okay, when you said that.
Throws the toothpick. Basically it's just kind of hyping that match up. Again, it's real hot going into this. This is a match that I'm really excited for as well.
Me too, actually.
I'm liking the way the SummerSlam card is shaping up. With Jericho and Macho, the triple threat I'm excited for. I'm excited to kind of get to the Bret versus Owen feud. that's one, and you can hear us talk about it on the creative meeting. But the Bret vs. Owen feud, it's been one that we've actually had a difficult time building that heat. You know, the other two, so the Jericho Savage feud has been pretty easy to build that heat. This one has come along pretty well also, but that Bret Owen feud, it's been difficult for us to kind of build that and get it off.
Probably because they're family. You can't go against the Harts. The Harts supposed to stay together.
All right, fair enough. Well, we've got some broken hearts here.
Yeah, it's a broken. We have the broken hearts right now.
But it's been difficult to kind of build that heat. I think we've done a decent job of it. The last 2 weeks or so, we've kind of got it built, and we've gotten it heated up a little bit. But it never really went as hot as I'd hoped it would go for a world title feud. So I am looking forward to that SummerSlam match because I think, if nothing else, that'll be a great match. Bret and Owen will put on a good match together.
Yes.
So we head to our final segment. It's Razor Ramon versus Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler doing the job to Razor. So once again, Jerry's just coming in. Pretty much, if you see one of our guys versus Jerry Lawler on the card, you can bet that Jerry Lawler is going to do the job. That's basically what we bring him in for. He's a pay-per-appearance guy. He comes in when I need a good match, and he comes in to lose. And that's it. He's going to do the job to Razor here. It advances the storyline again. It gives us an 80 in the main event. I'm happy with that. I like that a lot. And I think it's a good way to end our show. I think it's a good main event there. So we will go to the end, see what kind of grade we pull. A 74. And again, we're getting the penalty that the WWF doesn't have enough interesting storylines going on. It brings me back again to the Bret versus Owen feud. And it just isn't. It's our world title feud, and we're having a tough time keeping that above water. But the good news is the show does increase our popularity in 12 regions. It doesn't lose us popularity anywhere, so that's good.
Woo, woo.
Plus,
it's not a 72. Hey, two more points.
It's not a 72.
Woo, woo.
So not the best go home show. Certainly not the worst go home show. I'm excited.
It's like, whoa.
All right, that's what it's like. Leave it to Maxine to bring the sound effects. So join us back here again. Thanks for listening tonight. As you listen to this, just be aware our creative meeting is being posted right at the same time this is. So you can head on over to iTunes or Podomatic, look us up there, search us in their search feature. It's Book It Better. Listen to that creative meeting if you want to. Next Wednesday, we'll have another roundtable up, and check us out right back here on YouTube this Friday for the culmination of most of these storylines as we head into our second biggest show of the year. It is SummerSlam 1994, headlined by Bret and Owen Hart. And just to give you the full SummerSlam card, right now we're going to have Randy Savage versus Chris Jericho, the Smoking Guns versus Sid and Adam Bomb for the WWF Tag Team Championship. Undertaker takes on the Mercenary Bam Bam Bigelow. Diesel defending his Intercontinental title against Razor Ramon and the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. And Bret Hart putting the WWF title on the line inside a steel cage versus his little brother Owen. All that and some undercard matches this Friday on WWF SummerSlam 1994. For myself and Maxine, this is Book It Better, and thank you for watching.